Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. Today's pick a card reading is quite interesting. I haven't done one like this before. We're looking at what your animal spirit guides are wanting to bring to your attention. So this is a pick a card reading, meaning you will choose with your intuition whichever card is calling to you energetically. If you're pulled to multiple piles, then it's absolutely okay. There could be multiple aspects or messages in regards to what you're needing to hear today from your animal spirit team. But don't force anything to fit. And as usual, use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is sitting right for you. So we'll pull 3 cards. If at any point you are feeling like you want to get to your pile, I will put the timestamp in the description box below and in the pinned comment. It will take you directly to your pick, option 1, 2, 3, which I'll reveal shortly. We'll also pull a charm for each of these and see what it is that's wanting to pull through. So for option 1, you guys have What Enchants Me with the Delight card, Wild Bergamot. What enchants me? Delight, Wild Bergamot. Option number 2, you guys have the Coyote with Play, What Energizes Me. Coyote with Play, What Energizes Me. And for option number 3, you guys have the Striped Skunk with Clear. What kind of release would protect clarity in my space? The Striped Skunk, Clear. What kind of release would protect clarity in my space? Okay, let's pull 3 charms for each of these. For option 1, we have 2 swans. For option 2, we have a frog. For option 3, we have a skull. Very fitting. We have a skull, a skeleton skull. All right. So let me move this box out of our way. Option 1, option 2, and option 3. I'll leave the video running for a bit, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, hello, beautiful. Pile number 1. You guys picked the card of the Wild Bergamot with Delight, What Enchants Me, and the 2 swans. Before we get into this energy, what are we looking at? Well, we're asking your animal spirit guides, animal spirit team, to deliver a message to you in regards to what it is you're needing to hear or needing to know. It could be something they're wanting to bring to your attention in order to provide healing, or just something that maybe you're needing to be reminded of. Okay, so tap into your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. And then we will flip these oracle cards over to tap into your intuition before we start to channel your message. So you guys are the only ones that didn't get an animal card here. In the pick, you guys got to the Wild Bergamot. And so it's interesting because this is all about your animal spirit team, but I feel as though this could be confirmation for those of you guys who are into gardening, okay, who are all about plants and nature. And I feel as though your animal spirit team is wanting to bring to your attention something in regards to a partnership you could certainly be on. And for me, every time I get to the two swans, it talks to me about a soul mate, a partnership, a twin flame specifically. Okay, so this could be a very specific message for those of you guys who might be resonating with a partnership here with someone that you might be experiencing. Okay, so what enchants me and delight? I feel as though there's a very light, positive energy pulling through here. Okay, like I feel like with what enchants me, it's almost like being under a spell. Okay, but I feel like this is something very pleasant with the delight. So I don't know if the messaging is going to be pleasant, or you're in a connection here with someone that's quite pleasant. Let's take a look and see more about what it is your animal spirit team is wanting to bring to your attention. So we have the monkey, and bring in more playfulness. Interesting, because pile number 2 was the coyote about playfulness. Could certainly be connected, as most of my piles are energetically. So monkey, bring in more playfulness. We have Mercury here, and this is the ruling planet for Virgo and for Gemini. This is all about communication, fine details. Okay. We have Dream Traveler. Oh my goodness. Dream Traveler. Look at this beautiful card. It's the water flowing. And again, I'm getting nature. Walking through nature. I'm feeling it like this. And we have the Shekinah, Sacred Self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Wow, look at this beautiful dove and the Merkaba. Sacred Self. We have Warrior, light attributes, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Shadow attributes, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Wow, okay, very strong energy coming through already. Child nature, light attributes, friendship with animals, communicating with nature, spirits. Wow, very, very fitting here for this reading. Look at her snuggling with this beautiful bunny. Shadow attribute, tendency to abuse animals, people, or the environment. Bunnies are all about fertility. Okay, bunnies could also, for me, they could talk about the divine timing. We have anticipation, number 3, with the crow. All these empty seats. Empty seats sometimes signify people leaving our lives or us having to leave certain situations. Crow is all about communication as well, and we have a whole bunch of crows. Okay, and then we have the platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. Wow, platypuses are actually quite dangerous animals, although they appear very cute. They are quite dangerous and poisonous here. Okay, and then we have Puppet Master. So I'm getting devil energy from this, Capricorn energy. And alligator. Okay, subconscious stuff here. The deer will teach you, the deer will teach you gentleness. So it looks like we have a mother, a doe, and a fawn here, a baby deer. Mother, child, inner child, feminine energy, divine feminine energy here. And we have hummingbird, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So Gemini coming through quite strong in this reading as well. It's all about the nectar of life. Finding our delight. We have moth spirit, surrender now, 39. Or the number 12. Or the number 3. And 3 is all about growth, relationships, and the initial success. 3 is also the Empress, which is divine feminine, abundance, fertility, surrender now. And we have the Arctic fox. Look at this beautiful fox, all white. Dark brown in the summer, this little Arctic fox's coat thickens and becomes snow white in winter. Wow, with short legs, small ears, and a robust body, the Arctic fox is equipped to withstand temperatures of minus 50 Celsius, which is minus 58 Fahrenheit. It feeds on small rodents, especially lemmings, but also on birds, eggs, and even carrion left behind by polar bears and wolves. Your message is so clear. Pile number 1, very, very clear. I feel you are on a journey with a soulmate. This certainly could be a twin flame, okay? I read for a lot of twin flames. And so, but this journey is all about self. This isn't really necessarily talking about your partner. And I do feel as though your partner could certainly be absent. So, in this pile, your spirit animals are talking about you having a spiritual awakening and enlightenment, coming closer to your authentic self. Purity, okay? Purity with all the white here. I feel you're shedding a whole bunch in your life. You're shedding people, you're shedding certain thoughts, beliefs, certain things that no longer serve you. I think there's a lot of communication coming through dreams. You could certainly be in contact with your soul partner, whether you've met this person or not, is really coming through, because I feel for a lot of you guys, either this person hasn't yet made themselves available, and so this is a very strong energetic sort of pull towards you aligning your energy and yourself. And I feel is very difficult here for you, that you've had to overcome certain things, and so the struggle or the challenge feels heavy at times. Okay, it feels really heavy because I feel like a lot of you guys might feel like you're fighting alone. And this journey is one that we sort of fight alone when we have to shed our ego and we have to really identify with things in our subconscious that have been buried, and we might feel threatened. And we might even feel threatened by the situation, because I feel like all of our life we might have, been living in ego or living in the matrix world of what we see as what's real. And so now there's a lot of illusion coming to the surface here, and some of this illusion is stuff that used to be our reality. We're now really, really coming in touch with the authenticity that is us, the truth that is that of spirit. And even in the dream world, we're seeing things here about ourselves that we're needing to connect to. And so I feel like there's a lot of inner child traumas, specifically potentially when it comes to our upbringing or things that were established within us when we were younger, certain narratives or just beliefs. And so I feel like we're learning about coming into our own. Specifically, I feel like we're getting in touch with our divine feminine energy. Okay, and so you're being asked to surrender to this journey. Some of you guys might have already started to surrender here, but I feel as though this is a step-by-step process in which sometimes we come across obstacles and things that we don't fully understand yet. And so to surrender sometimes becomes a challenge, because this would mean to relinquish certain parts of ourself that are more challenging than others. And so we could sometimes feel as though what we're being asked to do could be contradictory or dangerous or pose a threat to us. Okay, so what your spirit animals are coming through with is saying, although maybe we might not fully understand the why we're being asked, or feeling like we have to sort of do something, or it's unclear, it's not all ironed out or written out for you to fully understand, why it is you need to sort of release certain things, or why certain things are coming to your awareness or your understanding, that you're being asked to allow yourself to flow with this journey and to enjoy this journey. Now, I know someone can't say to you, just never mind your suffering and enjoy, but this is kind of what your spirit animals are telling you, is like, this process is supposed to be something that you enjoy. That shouldn't be something that you that you're sort of feeling is a burden, or that you're not enjoying. The only reason why you might not be enjoying this is because the ego is still there. The mind still needs to understand something. The surrendering is still not taking place. So when we go back into ego, the mind says, I need to understand exactly what this outcome is going to be, or I need to understand sort of the future layout here, or purpose. And this is what the mind needs to know. And so the part of self that isn't an ego knows that being in the present moment and enjoying everything that comes with this journey is the blessing. And so we can enjoy what's being laid out in front of us and know that you are coming through this if we're not resisting in a more pleasant way and more aligned with allowing things to flow. And so I feel like there's been a lot of changes that you've had to make or being asked to make, because I do feel like the people in your world might not be the same people here that are going to be surrounding you going forward. And so you might have had to leave certain relationships behind or being asked to do this. But there's a lot of chatter and dialogue going on within you. And these are voices of social constructs or beliefs that are coming from ego and subconscious, that the inner child is needing to connect with your authentic self here, rather than being stuck sort of in the ego voice. Because I feel like the voices that you're hearing, okay, are the thoughts, I should say, these thoughts that are coming within you, the voices, the thoughts, are driven by potentially fear, ego, subconscious things that are coming up that we're needing to listen to, but not necessarily take as full truth here, okay? So that means if we have a worry or a thought, we're supposed to question whether this is coming from a pure place of surrender, or is it coming from a place of fear or a belief? Okay, because I feel like sometimes when we're being asked to change our environment or do things differently, the first thing that happens is resistance and fear, because we're creatures of habit here, okay? But I feel like your spirit animals are talking about the nectar of life here, like you finding your purpose, you finding your authentic self, you liberating yourself, you finding peace, okay? Above all, bliss, peace, freedom, liberation, you healing traumas, ancestral wounds, inner child traumas, and then you sort of being able to release any sort of resistance or fear or anything like this, because your spirit animals want you to enjoy this journey, this process. So this sounds to me, with the partnership circling back full circle here, sometimes when we are introduced to a soul person like a twin flame, like an individual here, we get awakened, sparked into our authentic self. Okay, it sort of is a catalyst here. It triggers all sorts of things within us. And I feel like this might have been very overwhelming for you to take on this sort of energy here, because at times it could be very intense and unpleasant. And sometimes, the mind can trick us, I feel, there with the monkey and the platypus, if we're not really aware and present. And that means that the mind might start to validate certain beliefs to support itself, because the ego is very tricky. Okay, and I think I commented this in yesterday's video here, and so this is elaborating on my comment, which wasn't very clear, but I don't like getting into back and forths with comments so much. What I want to communicate here about ego is that ego isn't necessarily where we're above confident or cocky or trying to be better. The ego comes through as either trying to defend itself or accusing others. It only has one purpose, and the purpose is to save self. That's what the ego is, the purpose of the ego, to save self. So if we do something foolish, back in the tribe days, then we could be kicked out of the tribe. We could look foolish. We could not attract a mate. We could just be ridiculed and be, you know, low on the sort of pyramid of life. And so we want to appear better. And what this means is we could start to beat ourselves up or take on victim mentality, which is ego. You know, you shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm silly, I'm stupid, I'm not smart. That sort of thing is all ego. Okay, even if we're hurt, it's all ego. Because the ego is trying to get us to survive by painting an illusion story that we start to believe. But we know we're none of those things. Okay, our authentic self is none of those things. And sometimes the ego plays the flip. It starts to blame. It starts to blame others. They're the reason I failed. This is what's happening. They're going to attack me. This is a threat. Okay, because if we didn't have ego, we could get eaten by the monsters or the animals or the whatever, the threats, the people. Things coming at us. Okay, so we need to be vigilant. But now we are not living in caves, and we are evolving as species, you know, to 4D, which is us ascending from 3D consciousness of egoic dog eat dogs, them versus me, duality, into oneness, which is my authentic self. My authentic self does not need to be a victim, nor needs to blame others. Okay, because when we see threats, we're seeing it based on our experience. And so I wanted to go into this whole monetary here, or tributary, I should say, because the ego is coming through in a sneaky way here with the monkey and the platypus, which is actually very sneaky here and could be very dangerous, because I feel like this ego is coming through for this pile as trying to support a belief. I think specifically when it comes to the action you should be taking, if it contradicts something that might be making you feel safe, secure, stable, familiar. So if we have these safe, familiar, stable things, the mind says, of course we should want all those things. And yes, makes sense. We don't want to be unstable. But our idea of what stability is, our idea of what brings security and true happiness, is based on a construct belief. It's scarcity mindset. It can only be attained with this job. It can only be attained with this person. I can only secure it by doing it this way. It could be at risk if I learn to trust the universe and think abundance and start to release these things. Could I find another job? Could I find another person? Could I sustain myself? Would I be secure? And so we hang on to what exists, the world we created previous to this experience. And so I feel there's some hanging on to old world. And so it's difficult to surrender completely to the universe and take that leap. But I feel like this is what the universe or your spirit team is showing about you trusting the universe by releasing these things. Okay, releasing these things, and slowly but surely we become completely pure. Yeah, fox is also tricky energy. So we have a lot of tricky energy here. And so the crow is very intelligent. And so you're being told to use your soulful intelligence, not your mind intellect, okay, which is very different, because there's an inner knowing and an inner understanding of what is aligned with authentic self. And then there is what the mind is trying to sell us in order to believe its stories, so that we stay in scarcity mindset, in the same sort of energy. So I feel like with the Mercury here, it is our own inner dialogue, or what we're telling ourselves, that needs to really be reviewed in fine detail here, because we might be glossing over the fine print, and the fine print is where the ego lies, because the ego is trying to sneak in there, controlling us, okay, controlling us, keeping us stuck here. And so we might think that we're not stuck, that we're hanging on to security here, you know, but the true authentic self knows where it's limited, where it's not being able to ascend and grow, where it's hanging on to scarcity mindset, thinking that its only way is however the ego sees it, but that's all perception. That's through our experience. If we dream big and have zero limitations, we achieve much more. If we have an understanding based on our experience of something that's challenging and struggling, we sort of stay small. So we have to erase any limitation, any idea of what we think is who we need to be or how we need to be or how this journey is supposed to go. Because I feel like there's things we're not seeing, and I feel the ego is ready to gobble us up here, okay, through the subconscious, if we're not very attentive and alert, very present. Okay, it's threatening us here, and it could keep us stuck here rather than us progressing in this beautiful journey. Okay, and why it's important here is because I feel like if you are on a twin flame journey, or if you are trying to work on self-enlightenment here, we could start to get stuck or lose focus of what it is that's going to liberate us and bring us closer to either union or union of self. Okay, let's pull some tarot. This message, like I said, it is very clear. So what is pile 1 needing to know about this message? I'll ask your spirit animal team here, what is it that pile 1 is needing to know? The Tower, yeah, the world falling apart here. Release the old things built on shaky ground. So that's the stability, the structure that we've built. And there's a lot of uncertainty when the tower falls, because towers are sometimes not very pleasant. But the beautiful thing about the tower is once it falls, we have to rebuild with something more solid and secure, because the tower is always where the foundation was built on something that was not sustainable, not authentic. It's no longer sustaining itself. It needs to fall. We can't support the tower to remain here. Okay, and that's the only thing that's showing. So I feel like you might feel out of control. You might feel out of control, or you might not like the fact that you have to release certain things here that your ego is still thinking need to remain solid, or still convincing yourself is part of who you are. But I feel like that's all ego. Okay, you're none of the things that you were in the past. We're not our past. Yes, we've had experiences. We're spirit living through a human body, having a spiritual experience, but we are not our body. We are not our past. Okay. So we have the Hangman in reverse, and need to change your perspective. Pisces energy, working with spirit to get enlightened, to see things differently. King of Pentacles, feeling stuck. So you might be stuck on this journey. Okay. Strength. This is the courage to face our fears. Know when it is we're supposed to be moving forward and not be held back, because we could be held back hanging on to the things that our ego's telling us we need to hang on to, but it's really out of fear or not wanting to face the falling of the tower, saying, but then I'll lose my security, but then I'll lose my stability, but then this, but then that, but then, and all these stories start to come out. The stories, the voices, the beliefs. Okay, so now we're really tunnel vision, and we're only seeing it one way, which is scarcity mindset. We become stuck on our journey. Ace of Wands, so we're not moving towards the thing that's actually delight, the thing that actually pulls us. So we think, well, I got to be mature about this. The mind says, I don't want to go after my passions, my desire. To create something new here would require me to release control. And so we shove the desire, we shove the passion inside the shadowy self here, and maintain the status quo and maintain the ordinary sort of matrix self here, rather than trusting the universe and releasing the ego here, because I feel like you're being pulled to take action. Take action. And look at the lilies. Lilies all about peace. And we were getting the white dove here. Sacred self, finding the pure self, white lilies. Lilies are also about our experience and our sensuality. So I do feel it's tying back to a person here with the sensuality, feeling very pulled here. Also a doorway opening I'm seeing here of our creative pursuit is blocked unless we learn what is ego and what is pure self, so that we are free to move forward here, because I feel like we're stuck. I feel like we're stuck. Okay. And then the sun, clarity, enlightenment, certainty, the bliss, the joy, the most positive card here on the tarot. Leo energy, divine masculine energy, taking charge where we need to. 2 cards of enlightenment here, and one where sort of aligned backwards, the same old, seeing the same thing, and the other we're aligning with what's true and authentic and taking action on that, even if it means things seeming as though they fall apart here or are out of our control, because we might need to give it up to the universe and be empowered to do this. Not necessarily taking control of every action, but being empowered to say, I can surrender. Being empowered to say, I can allow this tower to fall. Knight of Swords in reverse. So we need to confront what we need to here. And so Knight of Swords in reverse for me is kind of like a cowardly energy, because it doesn't confront, it runs away, it hides, it doesn't confront head on. So it's most likely held back or not leaning into the courage to have the tough discussions or to see clearly. So the ego hides and lurks under the surface here in the shadow, trying to control our scenario, instead of us sitting and becoming very clear and seeing the shadows for what it is in our subconscious, illuminating the subconscious and really asking the tough questions and saying, is this my inner self trying to protect myself and keep things the same? Or is this me, you know, like actually allowing things to flow here, even if it means releasing things that I've built over time, because I don't want to sort of shatter my illusion here. And that would be true surrender. Okay, true surrender. Now, this message isn't resonating for all of you guys here, and I'm not telling you you have to, you know, tower your whole life away, but this is what this message is for those resonating with this pile. That you know that your life is outgrown. And yet we're still in the same relationships, same situations, same workplace. As long as we maintain the things we already know we've outgrown, we're staying in reverse hangman, and we're not walking the path of enlightenment because we're not confronting what we need to, and therefore our journey is stuck. The journey of self-discovery, the journey closer to our soul tribe, soulmate, soul person here. Further we are from our true delight. We're not walking the authentic truth towards enlightenment, creating what we're supposed to, our life purpose. It's stuck here in matrix world, in your little self, okay? So this isn't to make you feel bad. This is to wake you up and to question, to really question, am I listening to the ego self, or am I listening to what I need to listen to, which is my authentic self trying to get me to surrender here, but my ego's getting in the way, pretending to be something that it's not, pretending to be saving me or securing me or keeping me safe. Meanwhile, it's just keeping itself safe. The ego isn't a real person, okay? The ego is an illusion that we carry. It's not a real person. It thinks it's a real person. It thinks it's you. You're not your ego, okay? Those voices that are inside of you is coming from this ego. The true authentic self knows what is right and true, and it doesn't instill fear. It doesn't instill a sense of urgency. It allows you to surrender. It doesn't defend. It doesn't blame. It doesn't victimize. It doesn't accuse. It doesn't feel threatened. No one can threaten the pure self. But the ego is threatened. The ego feels it needs to fight to stay alive. And so if we feel like we're resisting, fighting, conflicted, we know we're living in ego. We know there's things we need to overcome. So final message here. Anything I've missed for pile number 1, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. 6 Pentacles, balance, give and take, equal reciprocity, 4 Wands, coming into union. Okay, this is my twin flame, 1111. The Sun in reverse now, Leo energy, enlightenment, becoming clear, 10 Pentacles, the falling of the tower and the things that we've built, the Wheel of Fortune, fate, and things moving in the right direction and no longer stuck towards union and stability, divine timing, the 2 of Wands in reverse, and Justice in reverse, Libra energy. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 Pentacles. Okay. So, I feel this is a message from your spirit animal team identifying that we're feeling stuck, or you might be discouraged here, okay? And so you might be feeling 5 of Pentacles, and you might be contributing and giving and investing in an area of your life, feeling like you're doing the right thing, okay? You're doing the right thing because you might be showing up to work. You might be in a relationship you're still contributing to. You might be giving, you know, and so how could giving be wrong? Correct, except the ego's painting this as giving towards something here that's bringing you balance, and it's not. And so we continue to feel 5 Pentacles because it's at the risk of us being in our authentic self. And so what this message is showing is whatever you've built here, the long-term thing, structure, stability, family, work, whatever the thing is here, it could be all of the above. We can't keep contributing to this thing here and giving to this thing here. We have to let it sort of fall away and surrender to the pull of the soul here. And if this thing needs to be rebuilt, it will in divine's way here. But what needs to happen is the flow of the universe is trying to pull you towards creating new stability here that's actually built on solid ground. Union, coming together here with your person, with your soul tribe, a rite of passage, coming to union with self, building the actual stability, security. Okay, this is the milestone here, and this is what you're being pulled to do, but the only way we can get here is by surrendering, not staying in 5 Pentacles. And so your spirit team is saying, we still haven't seen the light, we still haven't dropped our ego, and so therefore the choice isn't in front of us. The choice of choosing the path of the partnership. Look at this, the lion, the lioness, okay? Divine counterparts, divine masculine, divine feminine. Choosing that wand, that path. Okay, we're still sort of, I don't know, like trying to uphold some tower, some old illusion of self. Still an ego. So we can't choose the path that's in front of us just yet until we relinquish control to the universe, surrender what we need to, restore some sort of balance and justice in our world, which is still lopsided, which is why we still feel 5 Pentacles. You know, and so our ego self is trying to support this action of ours, you know, by, again, validating itself. You're doing the right thing. You're contributing, and this makes sense. Logically, yes. But we're supposed to tap into the inner self and say, are we following our passions? Are we completely emotionally fulfilled here and following in the purest form of what calls to us, what inspires us, what drives us? Or are we sort of just sustaining and maintaining something here? And are we living in the confusion still of, am I doing the right thing, but maintaining the same thing here? But we still have a lot of questions. Because when we're aligned with our authentic self, there is no question. We're just living in the present moment, completely in bliss, seeing how the universe unfolds in front of us. And we start to align to our soul tribe. We're no longer resisting. We've surrendered. People come in, the right people, the right things. We build the stability and the security without even trying. And because that's the will of the universe. That's how it flows. Okay? So, 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like the 10 Cups, the 10 Pentacles in reverse. We're sacrificing our long-term stability, our long-term emotional happiness here. This is us coming together with our soul person to create and commit to long-term happiness, build some sort of family structure here that will stand the test of time, not, you know, in tower energy. And so there's a potential that's unfulfilled here, and it will remain unfulfilled here. There won't be a coming together here as long as we remain in ego, as long as we make up stories with the ego and support what the ego's trying to tell us, what we need to give to and contribute to and that sort of thing. So if you don't feel Five Pentacles, then this isn't your reading. If you already know you're contributing to something here that makes you feel warm and fuzzy, then not your reading. You know, this is if we're trying to pretend that our old self is making us feel content and we're investing here in the old self. And then this is the ego trying to get in the way here, or the fear of not knowing and trusting that the universe has our back, to relinquish control, to surrender now. Okay, and I'm not quite sure what your spirit animal is, so I'd be curious. Maybe leave in the comments if you know what it is, but you know, like I said, for a lot of you guys, for this pile, we got the plant rather than an animal here. So I don't know, maybe you really connect with nature and plants here, but we did get quite a bit of animals. We got the swans, the monkey, the platypus, alligator, crow, fox, deer, hummingbird, bunny, moth, dove. Okay, some of the animals I see here, you might connect with some of them. Anyway, this is your message, beautiful pile one. I hope this resonated for you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. You guys pick coyote with play, and what energizes me and the toad or the frog. Before we get into this energy, what are we looking at? We're looking at your spirit animal team, or one specific spirit animal will be pulled through here to communicate what it is you're needing to know, maybe advise you of something, maybe provide you with some information that is going to help to heal or to help you move forward. But I'm really excited to see what it is that we see through with your spirit animal team. And so I do ask you to use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear, to determine whether the messaging is right for you. And yeah, if it doesn't resonate energetically, go check out another pile. So for pile one, it's interesting. We got one card that was pointing to enjoying play. And so 1 and 2 could certainly be connected in some way, but I'll leave that with you guys, okay? Unless, of course, these cards are really pulling me to communicate a connection here. But like I said, you could be pulled to multiple piles. That's absolutely fine. So coyote is an energy of sort of redirecting, because we could have a plan, an idea of where we're going, and then the universe could block us and reroute us, and so we have to figure out a new way of how to get to where we're going. Sometimes a coyote could be tricky energy, like the fox, you know, but I feel like this coyote energy is giving off more there being a block in one way in order for there to be another way. And so what energizes me in play, it's like the reason for this block, the reason for there being this sort of change, or maybe things not flowing in the way we had expected, might be in order for there to be something uncovered to you, which could certainly be a blessing in disguise, or a silver lining, or something that would have never come about had we not navigated a different way here. And with the frog, this is all about clearing the clutter, and clearing the clutter is the things that might be weighing us down, you know, like removing the noise, the distortions, and the people, the things, and whatever that we might not need. You know, it could be old, I don't know, beliefs. It could be connections that don't serve us. It could be everyday mundane things that we need to identify so we could rid ourselves of this, so we can course correct in some way here. Maybe there is some sort of tricking of ourselves to hang on to what we don't need to here by not identifying. Frog is also able to leap over certain things. And so now I'm getting a message as well that if there is something that might seem insurmountable, we might be able to leap over top of this thing and not identify it, because there might be a belief we have here that limits us, you know, that might be tricking us with this coyote energy, thinking that we're stuck, that there's no way around this thing, or that we can't overcome, or yeah, that this thing is insurmountable and we won't get to the other side. Yes, now this is coming even more clear. Sorry guys, sometimes it takes a bit to really tap into the energy. I feel like you want to get to the other side. That is a for sure. And I feel like we haven't got to the other side here. And so you might be discouraged, but I feel as though there's a message here from your spirit team, animals, animal guides, or one specific spirit animal, however you resonate here. Could be a coyote. Okay, whatever this energy is coming through here to communicate to you, you're going to get to the other side here, but you might be sort of under one understanding and listening to some sort of untruth here, which could be self-induced or a belief based on your experience. And so it's limiting you here from getting there, okay? But I feel with this play and what energizes me, like this is a beautiful energy of something that is giving you life, you know, that's actually a joy to partake in. But I don't feel like you're yet living the joy or yet having any fun here, okay? We're not having fun yet. And we might feel very drained. You know, the wind in our sails might have been completely removed here. And so this could be a message of encouragement, because you might feel you have no recourse. You're all out of answers. You don't know which way to go. And I feel like you're losing hope potentially. Okay, so we have Quicksilver. This is always the adaptable energy. You know, the adaptable energy. If it comes across an obstacle, a solid thing, the Quicksilver is able to sort of flow around it, because it can make its way around anything. It's kind of like water here. And 24, or the number 6, problem solving is the number 6. I feel like we're needing to figure out a way here to get through, or to adapt, to still work with the energy that's around us here in order to be successful. We have gathering your tribe. Look at that. 3 teepees. Gathering your tribe, your soul people. Krishna with devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Wow, beautiful. And here we have a peacock feather. And this is an eye of protection. And so you're heavily, heavily protected here. And I feel like you're being guided here. And maybe we feel like we got abandoned because we feel stuck. Like we're questioning, are we even protected? Are we even on this right path? Visionary, light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Shadow attributes, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So the peacock eye, and now we have visionary. Hero and heroine, light attributes, passion for a journey of self-empowerment, of personal empowerment. Shadow attribute, escapism and false sense of heroism. And we have 48 with teamwork. All these birds. Poppies. Some clouds. Teamwork, 48. Or the number 12. And I thought we were getting 12 here, weren't we? No, I thought we did. Okay. Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all good things in your life. Wow. Get ready to receive. Pile number 2. We have the pigeon. Coming home to self. Finding the way. Elephant. Remembering the way back. Wow. Elephant and pigeon. And look at the lily pads here that the frog kind of uses to go step by step by step to get across to the other side here. That leaps over the lily pads, the guided path that's in front of you. Okay, the chickadee will help you to live your inner child. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, so let me see. Yes. We have the raccoon. And so we have earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This could be wearing a mask or something masked up so we don't see it for what it is. Having to make do with what's sort of there and maybe not seeing what's there. Okay, elephant spirit, learn from the past. You guys, look at this. How synchronistic. Your spirit animal could certainly be an elephant here. Okay, elephant's all about memory, and it is about fortune and luck. And we have the ladybug, which is luck. But I'm really getting memory with the poppies too coming through, because poppies for me is all about learning from past. Yeah, learn from past. Wow. Okay, you guys. Oh my goodness, northern elephant seal. So we got 3 elephants coming through here. The big seal owes its name to its size and weight, but also to its funny nose. The male forms a trunk that he uses to amplify his roars and asserts his domineering power. It spends 90% of its time in the water. A free diving champion, it can dive up to 20 to 30 minutes and reach depth of 1,800 meters, which is 5,900 feet. Coming up to the surface to breathe for just 1 or 2 minutes. 3 elephants. Wow. So we have longevity 15 years. Sorry, I just need to sit with this energy for a little bit here. Northern elephant seal. Wow, okay. I don't pick these at all, and I see them for the first time when I reveal them here, so I'm just really blown away here. Hawk, remember your mission. Hawk over here. Pretty certain that's a hawk, okay? And hawks are all about gaining a higher perspective. Hawks have the vision to hunt and swoop in. Okay, so they're great hunters, but they take the opportunity to swoop in, and there was something coming through the eye and seeing our out or seeing our way through something here. You know, hawk's about ascension as well. So let me sit here with this energy, you guys. This is interesting energy I'm feeling, and then we'll get into your reading. Interesting, we have gathering your tribe and this teamwork. Okay. Pile 2, I do feel I'm going to need some tarot here because it's not 100% certain to me what's going on here, but this might make complete sense to you what your animal spirit team is coming through with here. I feel like you do feel like you want to get someplace or accomplish something here, okay? I do feel it involves other people, or potentially you're feeling stuck alone. But the messaging here is that there are other people here that could certainly come in and help you to achieve your goal or your vision here. Like, you don't have to be alone. And yeah, you don't have to be alone, but maybe we aren't seeing exactly what's in front of us here. That there is people around you, help around you, an answer around you that is going to get you what it is that you want, that you're not quite seeing yet, or you're masking it up in some way as it's being something else that might not be helping you. So you believe, you know, so you believe that it's something that might, I don't know, not help you, or you just don't trust it. And so maybe you just chalked it up as something that isn't helpful, or someone that is, you know, not going to support you. But I feel like that's not true. I feel like whatever the energy around you is, there's either people, a specific person, or something in your situation right now, right here, as we read this, that is the answer here, but we're not wanting to see it, or we've already dismissed it. And I think this brings you exactly what it is that you want, because I feel like what you want here is something very specific. You want to achieve something specific, and I feel you can. I feel there's an opening here for you to do this, but I think it's in an unexpected way, or coming through an unexpected set of people or circumstance here that we're not seeing, you know, that we're not seeing. So we're really hung up with maybe what we've experienced in the past. So for example, maybe this group of people or this person or a situation made us feel like we couldn't trust in this circumstance, and so we're sort of reliving that sort of energy rather than being completely open to this being a new set of circumstances here. And so I feel like you're trying to find your way, potentially alone, and you don't have to be. And so the universe is sort of guiding you towards maybe resolving or identifying a different way to get here. You know, and this could be an unexpected support that comes through here. I want to pull tarot because I'm not 100% certain, but I do feel like you might be very fixed on an idea of how you're going to get someplace or accomplish something, very fixed. Okay, and there's a need for you to be more flexible, to work with whoever or whatever is presenting itself that you might not be seeing, because you can attain what you want. Okay, so let's say this is, I don't know, a book deal or something, and you want to get it published here. You might not, I don't know, you might be avoiding some sort of publishing house here because you've heard stories in the past that it's no good or whatever. So just an example here, and so you don't even bother sort of taking your book there. Meanwhile, this is an option here that would publish your book, you know, that would be your experience, and it'd be different than anything you've heard here, and take your book into publishing here and allow you to accomplish your goal. Something like this. Something like this is coming through. Let's see, because like I say, I'm not 100% clear what your spirit animal is trying to message to you, but I do feel like it's a blessing here because it's really aligned with the goal or the thing that you were wanting to get to. So if you feel like you've been stuck or blocked by the universe, your spirit team saying, hey, no, you're not. You're heavily guided. This is meant to happen. There's a step-by-step process here that you're supposed to be sort of trusting. And you might have blocked it, or you might not be seeing it just yet. But this is what's going to get you there, or what's going to allow you to achieve this thing. You have to trust it. You have to trust other people. You'll have to recognize this here. Okay, and because we have the chickadee will help you to live your inner child with play. You know, an inner child's all about play. Like we might be, I don't know, like a tight rule book here, you know, a tight rule book, rather than allowing ourselves to have the downtime. Because even with Quicksilver, it's like being adaptable, you know, it's like play energy, flexible energy. We're not rigid. We're not set on our path of how it's going to happen and who it needs to happen with. Okay, because you might be fixated on it has to happen with this person or this group of people or this specific job or that specific thing. We're now allowing our inner child to sort of say, you know what, I'm going to explore and be flexible and try out things that maybe, I don't know, I didn't trust because of in the past my experience, or see how this goes. And that is where the answer is. And that is what takes us sort of through this process. That is the right time to strike, so to speak, because I feel like you're accomplishing something here, some sort of goal, you know, and the only way to do this is to be a little more flexible. It comes through a period of us learning to sort of not be so rigid in the mindset of how it happens, or, you know, that sort of thing. So let's ask for more. Spirit, for pile 2, what am I missing? Can we please clarify this message for pile 2? What am I missing? Clear and concise message here from their animal spirit team in regards to what this message is about. Okay. The Tower. Interesting. Pile 1 also got a Tower energy, so could certainly be connected. Falling away of the false, of the illusion. We might be building something up as the visionary thing here of how it's supposed to happen. Okay, this is coming through now. So I'm going to go back to that book deal. Okay, I'm going to go back to that book deal. It could be something like this. This is just an analogy, okay? You have to apply it to your own situation, because there's a lot of you guys here, and this could be many different things, but in the lines of this. We wrote a book because our goal or mission or vision is to become a well-known author. And so we've hung on to this book for many years, and we want to get it published. And it could be that that book is crap, let's just say, okay? I know you don't write crap, but you are a very profound author, but the book you're trying to force as the book isn't the one that helps you to get to, let's say, the promised land here. And so we have to allow the truth to come through. If the publisher comes back and says, well, you know, this isn't the book, but we want you to, I don't know, write another one or do this, that, and the other. And you might think, well, no, I'm just going to go find another sort of publisher that's going to buy this, you know. And I get it if we have our vision or baby or thing that we believe, but I feel like we're really hung up on some sort of thing that's getting in the way of the real goal. And the real goal here was to become this, you know, profound author that's recognized or that gets a book published. It doesn't necessarily have to be that book specifically, you know. And so I feel like had you known where this is leading you, I don't think you would resist or fight, but I feel like you might be very rigid in how it has to happen here. And so there needs to be a falling away of an idea of how something happens, or yeah, like the thing in our mind, I feel here, that's not necessarily true, that we're not necessarily seeing through yet here. And so I feel like, again, coming through when I said we have to work with what we have, like the scraps or something, like a raccoon would pick through garbage. I feel like you might feel like you're having to work with mediocre stuff here, or like you're having to settle, but you really don't have to. I feel like the stuff here that you have to work with is a blessing, because I think you can create something out of this course correct, or this whatever you do have left to work with is something that you might be writing it off as no good, or these people or this thing or whatever is just not workable, and it's far from the truth. I feel it is workable. I feel like that is what you need to use in order to get to your goal here. Okay, drop whatever belief you might carry that the thing is no good, no, not good here. Ace of Wands in reverse. So the thing we want to create, okay, with the spider and this spider web, I feel like it hasn't yet happened. And we might feel very blocked here. The Empress in reverse. So the abundance, feeling blocked, creating, birthing the thing, feeling very blocked. We can't create it. Fox energy, which is giving me the coyote. We feel, I don't know, like either you feel like you can't trust your situation, something sort of untrustworthy about it, or you feel like you have to act in sort of a sneaky sort of way here in order to accomplish something. But there's something here about not being either upfront or clear, or dealing with a situation we can't fully trust. But I feel like your spirit team, your animal guides, are saying you are protected here, and whatever this thing is secure, you can trust. you can trust, you are going to manifest, but you do feel very blocked here. And it's only because we don't see the path. It's only because we're not flexible. It's only because we're not allowing things to sort of fall away that are keeping us sort of stuck in front of this obstacle. Judgment in reverse. We're not seeing, we're not seeing just yet. Judgment's all about us sitting and reviewing and becoming very honest and clear. Here we have the snake, which is shedding old things that don't necessarily serve us, like experiences with the poppies. Because if we had more poppies, if we had an experience, and here's the snake skin that's been shed. If we had an experience in the past, our experience sort of tries to dictate what we're supposed to do or feel. But I think we're supposed to shed that mindset and that understanding in order to create the new thing here that I feel is blocked, because we're not seeing, we're not being adaptable, we're not questioning that mindset. We're just sort of going with it. Queen of Swords, clarity, truth, honesty, seeing clearly. And this is also because the owl here is about our experience. And again, the past coming through, like what did we experience and learn from it? Or are we letting... Sorry, I'm chewing on ice. It's a bad habit I'm getting into here. Okay, so are we letting the experience of the past dictate our actions and what it is that we think needs to happen? And that's coming through very strong. And then we might think they're pure, and we might think that they're leading us to the right direction, but they're tricking us. Yes, the past experience is the trick. Okay, I hope this resonates for you guys, because this one's very sort of, I don't know, not very, in practical terms, very clear to me, but I think if you're here, this should make sense to you. The white owl to me is talking about a pure experience of the past. I feel like we think we've experienced something in the past in a certain way, which we did, but our perception paints how we've experienced it. And so we might be walking in a path right now, but I don't feel it's the honest path. With all this coyote and fox energy and this masking, we're masked up right now. We're not seeing clear and truthful, even though Queen of Swords is seeing clearly. This Queen of Swords, the sword of truth is sort of pointing downwards. The judgment is in reverse. We're not seeing, and we're needing to see something about self that we're maybe telling ourselves is the honest truth, or the pure experience we had, or because of this experience, therefore there's this belief. But we need to question it a little bit more, because I think we need to see. We need to see it so that we can take action. We need to get back on board here and accomplish our mission. But until we can work with our own energy, we're sort of shooting ourselves in the foot or not allowing the thing to get birthed here. Four of Cups, there's us being disinterested. Okay, maybe disinterested in the option that's left, like having scraps. We're lying to self in some way here by... I don't think it's a purposeful lie to self, but believing some sort of untruth here with the foxes, that the only left thing here isn't going to please us, or isn't going to be the right answer, or isn't the thing that how it was supposed to happen, And so we sit here, but the universe wants to give you the blessing here, the mission, your vision. Okay, but we're not taking the cup because of an inability to be flexible. Or here's the 3 Wands, moving forward, getting on the ship, laying the groundwork so that we can have future expansion here and move on with our project and expand. We're getting in our own way here, and we're being asked to check our own understanding, our own energy. If we're discouraged, if we're not liking what we're seeing here, I feel it's an untruth of something here that you're painting in a certain way, and I don't think you're seeing that you're doing this. 9 Swords, anxiety in our own mind about it. So we could be having more anxiety and painting a scary picture about what it could be that prevents us from taking the cup of the universe and being adaptable. So we could make up big stories in our mind. Okay, it's going to go like it did last time. It's this thing. It's this big nightmare. Meanwhile, it's all in our mind. It's not a big nightmare. Whatever this answer is actually going to get you to the promised land, is going to get you your thing, is going to get you to your vision, your mission. You have to trust it. You have to dissolve whatever stories you're telling yourself and see through whatever mask of the situation is. And a big part is the way you're seeing it or connecting with this thing. Wow. Isn't that an interesting message? Let's see. I'm going to pull a final sort of word here then from your spirit animal team for anything that I have missed or anything you're needing to know that will guide you towards what this is. Maybe you already know, but you weren't wanting to see it, or, you know, if there's only like, I don't know, a couple of options here. Maybe it's the opposite way that you weren't wanting to accept or see here. So let's ask your animal spirit team for more information, anything that will help pile number 2 get on their mission so that they know what exactly this is about. 8 of Swords. It's your own limiting thought here. And because we had the frog and the clearing away of things, like I said, it could be a limiting belief, is what I said. Like something that's getting in your own way of where you can go because you believe it to be true, but meanwhile it's not true. So 8 swords in reverse, breaking out of the mental prison, getting out of your 9 swords. Okay, what else? Clear and concise message that will help pile number 2. Anything I've missed? Any questions they still have? 2 cups in reverse and imbalance. 2 cups is about a partnership. You know, a balanced sort of union here and coming together. And the reverse is like we can't get to where we need to go with the people we need to get to. It's blocked and stuck here because of a limitation. And we need to break out of that mental prison. The Emperor, yeah. Taking action, being empowered. Okay, so we saw the Empress in reverse, and now we're seeing the Emperor. And we're seeing a 2 cups. So that could be a partnership as well. But I feel like the Empress in reverse was showing the block in the birthing of what it is that you're wanting, and the Emperor is getting empowered to take action. To take action. So why is this 8 of Swords here then in reverse for pile number 2? 5 of Cups in reverse. We got to get out of some sort of mindset that we're in. So we're stuck crying over spilt milk here, I feel. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Not showing up. Not in workable energy here to create. And we might feel threatened by that situation. So we just don't show up. I see. And 9 of Wands. Yeah, look at that. And 8 of Pentacles. You guys. This is interesting because this sort of is giving me same energy from yesterday's reading. Last pile, which I didn't think so many of you guys would resonate with this. We might be very defensive. All right, saying, well, I got reason to be. Okay, well, then go be defensive. Have fun. I hope you're loving it. We're looking at when we're defensive, when we're in energy that we're not showing up because we feel threatened. We could sit here in this energy, but we don't create, okay? And we could go create other things then. But I feel like the thing you're wanting to create here, the thing that you're wanting, could manifest here. But again, the mask, what we're seeing is based on an experience we had, which is fair enough. But you could send 50 people and have the same experience and all come away with different answers. Some enjoyed it, some didn't like it, some felt threatened. Whatever the thing is. I feel you feel threatened. Look at the wolves circling this buck. And so we don't even show up. We write it off. We're not flexible. We're defensive. We're guarded. We have a lot of anxiety. Our beliefs are keeping us limited. We're crying over the spilt milk. We're not taking the cup the universe wants to give to us. We're in the 4 cups. And so what your spirit animal is saying is get out of that mindset. Okay, or at least recognize you're in it. Come to some sort of truth. Again, like I said, the Queen of Swords was there. We need to see it. We need to be honest so we can take the right action. Whatever energy we're in, is keeping us in the 8 swords. It is the limiting prison. We're the ones creating it. We're not creating union. We're not creating workable energy. We're not being empowered to work with whoever wants to work with us, which could be divine masculine energy coming in here. That is in the upright. That's showing up clean and honest and true. Okay? But we could certainly be in unworkable energy. And we could be very defensive here. And look at the fox and the porcupine. Okay, so the thing you're wanting to get to, okay, the promised land here. I feel like you're putting a lot of weight on what's happened in the past. And you can't necessarily get over the past, okay? And I'm not saying just forget about the past and move on if you can't do that. But in a way, I am saying the past is an illusion. That is the tower. Because the past isn't happening right now. You know, and we could forever be stuck in what's happened to us in the past and let that be a reality. Or we can use discernment to learn from the past, but then look at the current situation as it's existing right now. So I feel like what your spirit animal team is saying with this wounded warrior with the 9 wands is very resilient. There is still a chance for you to get to where you're needing to go, which we might be resisting, not wanting to see, masking it in a certain way, feeling like we were tricked or we will be tricked. Okay, and so here we sit, and this is the least of our wanting to take our options, because all we see is the belief we carry. It hurt me, I'm stuck, it won't be pleasant, it hasn't been pleasant, what if this and what if that, and now we're not flexible, and now we're sort of sitting there with our needles up in the air. But what your animal team here is saying is this is the workable answer here. The only thing you have to do is to work with this energy. Okay, but work with it. Okay, this doesn't mean throw your brains out the window and just let yourself sort of be tricked. It means be in workable energy. Show up, at least. So you're in workable energy, whatever workable means to you. You know what you want. You know how to communicate a truth of what you want. You know how to work on whatever it is you want to work on. Because I feel like there's an energy here of other people or another person wanting to work with you. Gather your soul tribe. Or what does it say? Gather your tribe and teamwork. Teamwork. 8 of Pentacles with the bees. Bees are all about working together. So I feel like you're needing, and you can do whatever you want, but what you're needing to do if you're wanting the vision you have, okay, the vision you have to come home, to find your way through something you feel stuck on, or there was this big obstacle, you can get there. But we have to change your mindset. We have to see something sort of differently. And we might not want to see it that way because our defenses would rather defend us and keep us guarded here. But there's a need to be adaptable. There's a need to know how we can work with the energy. There's a need to recognize things maybe differently and recognize where, and look, more elephants, you guys. I feel like we feel like the past thing that we're really hung up on with the elephants here is the thing that's driving and calling all the shots. You know, we can't forget. So we're hung up on the experience and with all the poppies again. The experience has us stuck. And so you're just being asked here to re-examine. Are you projecting that experience into what you're doing now and how you're showing up now? If you are, you're going to be stuck here in this circumstance or this situation or with this person or this specific thing because you're not in showable, workable energy. You're sitting defensive here. And maybe you're choosing that on purpose, then great. But I feel like this is blocking some sort of path here that you're needing to walk down in order to accomplish something here that you're being pulled to. It's a mission. And it could be your karmic lesson. It could be the universe is going to block you always from Sunday until you learn this so you can release this sort of limiting thought or this way of being or this belief you carry. Because again, clear the clutter. Release your 8 of Swords. The universe sometimes puts us in situations where we have to overcome certain things here in order to ascend, in order to clear inner child blocks, you know, to really truly ascend as an individual here and know of our sort of ways of being that keep us sort of defensive and keep us stuck little, not growing, not being the bigger person like this elephant, the bigger person. And I learned from the past here. And we could say, well, I learned that I was hurt and so never again. Okay, that to me sounds like someone who's still defensive and angry. I'm just being very honest with you. Okay, but learning from the past would be, I learned how certain people or situations could hurt me. And I'm also learning how to show up differently. And I'm also learning how to work with energies that are difficult. I'm also learning about being flexible and adaptable without compromising myself, hurting myself, giving away my power, being an emperor energy, learning about teamwork, learning other people also have traumas, learning that other people also have inner child blocks, not forgetting that I had a lesson or an experience, but coming closer to my authentic sort of path here of experience. And then by learning this, we are ready to receive the blessing here. Okay, the blessing, which I feel is this beautiful fortune coming and ready to be given to you, but you can block it being porcupine all you want. Okay, sorry, I know this might not be everyone's message, and that is fine. You don't resonate. Lots of readers online you can go see. And don't force it. And this would resonate for you. Okay, this would resonate for you if you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it took us a while to get there, because I do feel there's some sort of experience you didn't like, and now it's dictating what you do here, but it's getting in the way of your blessing with this person or this situation. You're accomplishing some goal here, some getting to where you want to go. And I feel like you're going to get to where you want to go, but you have to kind of go through it in the way that the universe wants you to go through it, not through your own ego's way of going through it, how the hurt self wants to get there, how the hurt self is trying to paint the story. Okay, and it's not even to feel bad. We're hurt. We don't want to, minimize it, but do we want to victimize self and stay there in ego, Or do we want to attain what we want? Like Dr. Phil says, do we want to be right? Or do we want to be happy? And so, were we hurt? Yes. But like I said, 20 different people can have the exact same experience, and only one person might be hurt by that experience. Or maybe all, or maybe none, or maybe 5. And each person will come away with their own sort of understanding. So, it's all about how we perceive it. How we perceive it now. Can we release certain feelings, understandings, because I feel like a very heavy sort of memory of what's happened here is really weighing you down, getting in the way of you accomplishing your mission. So let's just give you the final message then, what you're needing to know. Beautiful pile 2. 1, I just heard to forgive the situation. You don't have to, outright allow people to hurt you, but the situation here has to be sort of an energy here that you could see past. And also your own self, like your own self, like you don't feel bad. Don't blame self. Don't listen to your own sort of internal dialogue that might be making you feel, I don't know, guilty, bad, or whatever your internal dialogue is. Allow yourself to be in this present moment. So, final message. What is it that pile number 2 needs to know then from their animal spirit team? What is this message for pile 2? Oh, I do feel that's going to be with that one. Okay. Look at that. The universe wants to bring you blessing. Whatever your path is here, it's divinely guided, which we were getting right from the hop. Okay, sometimes we got blocks. We're being diverted. We're being diverted to the path that we need to take here, because it's divinely guided. This experience is when you're being led down. And the Wheel of Fortune could mean, if we're not learning lessons, we could repeat certain mistakes. So we could be fearing we don't want to repeat certain things here, which is fair enough. But we don't have to repeat certain things here. The universe wants to help us to overcome this. So sometimes we repeat mistakes many times until we get the lesson. That's okay. I think we need to be flexible in how we're seeing things, because sometimes doing the same thing, 20 times makes us feel like shit. And that's okay, because on the 21st time we learned the lesson and we see it, you know, not to beat ourselves up. I had to do it 20 times and I'm still doing it, you know, that sort of thing. It's okay, because there are no mistakes. There's just experience. And so I feel like you're being led down an experience. And so you could be very guarded and hurt. You don't want to fall into the same patterns and the same things, which is fair enough. That's good that you're identifying there's an issue, or there's a need for something more or a deeper understanding. And so now let's get on that train. Let's get down that path to find out what is that deeper understanding within self that we need to identify. We have to go through this uncovery. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune wants to pull you forward, doesn't want you to be stuck and defensive and guarded, because you're divinely protected down this path here. Okay, everything for a reason in how we learn it. I feel like you're walking down a path to achieve some sort of great blessing here. It's going to lead you exactly where you want to go, but you have to overcome it with this hero and heroine. Face whatever you need to face here, and know that you know, sometimes we have to fail in order for us to succeed, and that's sometimes the only way to succeed is to fail, however many times it takes. Okay, but when we don't even try, or we block it off, that's the true sort of failing, because we're not progressing, we're not moving forward. So divine timing is in play. Something faded, you're divinely protected, you're being guided. You could not want to repeat a cycle. 2 owls, 4 owls, white owls coming through again. The pure experience here, something about an experience that you had is really pulling through here, you know, and we might be distorting how we've seen it or experienced it, so much so that it impacts how we move forward. And there's the objective truth of what's happened, and then there's our own perception and experience that taints how we move forward. So that needs to be questioned 100%. 9 Swords, anxiety again, our own mental prison here, having a lot of anxious thoughts that are greater than the actual involvement. And the white bear again. Okay, I know it's a polar bear, but the white purity is coming through. There's something about taking pure action here, you know, like an objective action, not one that we're tainting in a way or seeing in a way, masking it up, masking it in a way because of our experience, and now we're telling ourselves we perceive it to be a threat, or perceive it this way. And it could be true that we do see it this way, and that we did experience what we did, and we really felt the way we felt. Those are all real things. But the minute we shift our perspective, the minute we say it could have been also these other things, but I didn't intake it in that way, and we start to question, okay, we start to question this, and then we start to loosen our fear, we start to adapt a little differently, saying, you know, this could have had more impact towards whatever my experience, because of a past inner child wound or past defense thing that I had, or whatever the thing might be. I feel like the anxiety is bigger than the actual thing itself. Okay, for a reason. We're not beating you up. If you have anxiety, you have anxiety. But let's recognize it. Okay, let's recognize where there's more anxiety than the actual thing itself, so we can overcome it. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so let's flip them all and see what the messaging is here. The Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. 9 of Pentacles. Death, Scorpio energy with the white owl again. 5 of Cups in reverse again. Knight of Pentacles again in reverse. Did we have Knight of Pentacles in yours? No, we didn't. But this is stuck energy again. So stuck energy. Okay, so we're stuck. Like I was feeling with this coyote. We came across an obstacle here. Something fell apart. Okay, I think something fell apart that we were maybe had an idea of what it could build up to be. You know, we had an idea what it could build up to be, and it didn't work out the way we had thought. So now there's massive anxiety here. But I feel we need to release some devil way of us thinking or being. Okay, we need to release. And with this shedding of the clutter, or releasing or detaching of mindsets and things that aren't serving us, that's coming through with this death. Okay, that knowing that in order for there to be a huge sort of shift here, there has to be a release of everything that's unhealthy, toxic, including mindsets, anxieties, past things that we're sort of still attached to or hanging on to here. Okay, so I feel like your true self, this 9 Pentacles, is beneath all this, somebody who is willing to come forward with this 9 Pentacles attitude, which is confident, successful, capable of managing on their own, not needing anyone else to be successful here. Nobody can dictate whether you're a failure or whether you don't succeed. That's all solely up to you. You on your own. You don't need to depend on anything or anyone or any situation to dictate different. And so with the Devil in reverse, we might have really been sort of feeling like the situation, the people, the circumstance, or whatever has happened has a big sort of impact on who we are as an individual, as an independent individual, and that's not true. So we need to release this in order to have this massive change. Because this massive change, this shedding of whatever belief, identifying the anxiety, will allow us to move forward with the universe here and learn what we need to learn here. The pure self knows that you are beautiful, independent, and confident here. But I feel like with the Bear here hibernating, we still haven't seen that about self. There's still a dormant part within you that needs to connect to your 9 Pentacles, your independence. You feeling confident on your own without maybe externally, having that validation or this situation providing this for you in order for you to succeed here. Because I feel like the past disappointments have really hurt you. Okay, they've really hurt you here. But I feel like this is why you're stuck. This is why you're stuck. Is because we're still in the morning and looking at the spilt milk, and we could sit here looking at this forever if we wanted to and keep building that it's true and keep remaining stuck. Okay, so it's a choice, and I'm not saying one is right and the other is wrong. I'm saying, do you want to free yourself, to move forward, to attain what you want? Then we have to identify where we are energetically feeding. 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, like, this is the card of, everything sort of falling apart. We can't no more. We can't carry the burden no more. The 2 10s in reverse. This is all about endings, transformation. So I feel like we're needing to release the burden. Release what we're carrying here. It's too heavy to carry. We don't need to carry any of this stuff. The anxiety is heavy. The belief that we have that we had to create something in a certain way, or something worked in a certain way, so therefore it means this, that, and the other. It's not necessarily true. We need to shed this. Okay, that's the only way to have true change, is to identify what our beliefs are and what's holding us back, and and actually shed this so things can really shift here in our world. Because I feel like your spirit animal is saying this situation is shifting for you, but you're the one sort of who holds the key, and we're sort of asleep here. So I know this is turning really long, but I want to see, like, what are you then gonna attain here? Like, what's this ladybug? Because I feel like the universe wants to give you this beautiful gift, and maybe this will give you motivation to sort of overcome this energy you're sitting with. So what is this beautiful ladybug gift, visionary mission, or whatever it is that pile 2 is trying to get to? What are they going to be sort of rewarded with, or where are they walking towards here if they uncover the masks and uncover the truth here? What are they walking towards? Now, I do feel like you're coming closer to home with this pigeon. Look at that, Queen Pentacles, your own independence. Queen of Pentacles is an independent energy who's able to have it all and do it all here, not needing anyone else to stand upright, not depend on anyone. It's a single mom card, and look, there's a key here. Okay, a key, and the key is all about solutions, answers, opening the door to future opportunity. Queen of Wands. Oh my goodness. 2 queens. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Master manifester. The Queen of Wands is determined and very much a beautiful, strong manifester, getting what she wants. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the 10 Pentacles in the exact same spot in reverse. So let's ask Pile 2's animal spirit team, what is it exactly that Pile 2 is going to manifest here or get if they uncover truth here and move towards, they're needing to move towards. Page of Cups in reverse. And finally, why is this 9 Swords here? The Hermit in reverse. King of Swords. Okie dokie. And what's under that? The Two of Swords in reverse. Owl. Now the owl went from being pure white to this brown owl. Okay. So, what are you walking towards? I think you're liberating yourself here, okay? And I feel like both your energies coming through with this Queen Pentacles and this Queen Wands. Because I do feel as though you can be an independent energy that sort of relies on your own self to manifest and get what you want here. Okay? And so I feel like what Spirit is showing here is that our anxiety of how we sort of engage or what we believe could be painted across many different ways in our life or aspects in our life, not just necessarily this situation. And once we identify this and really connect to our inner self, we're now connected to when we let our anxiety or our beliefs sort of get in the way, which prevents us from creating, building anything here that could be sustainable over a long period of time. Because our anxiety, no matter what situation we involve in, ourselves in, will creep up, creating and painting the exact same sort of picture in our life, unless we really identify it within ourselves. Okay, and so this blocks, with the Page of Cups, the beginning stages of any sort of, emotions. This is opening our heart space. So our heart space could get blocked. We don't create anything over the long term here of stability and security. It's blocked. We live in anxiety. Okay, and so I feel like what Spirit is showing with this King of Swords, this is the strategic king. This is like planning and really sort of having an understanding of what it is we want. You know, so we're not sort of at the mercy of other things and other people. And so I feel like maybe this is a reoccurring with the Wheel of Fortune state of being. Our anxiety gets in the way. We sit to 2 swords. We wait for other people to sort of call the shots. We can't take agency of our own life, take action, and we let the past sort of dictate with the poppies. And so what are you manifesting and attaining? I feel like control and agency over your own sort of manifestations. Feeling independent, feeling like you can manifest what you want, not at the mercy of your own anxiety, getting really in tune with yourself. And so this will extrapolate over many different areas of your life here where you are blocked from potentially, allowing certain things to be born with the Page of Cups here. Okay, creative projects, love, relationships, or the long-term stability of things that you could build here. The anxiety creeps in and things fall apart. Things aren't sort of built over a long period of time. So I think you want to be sort of independent and in control of your own future to build, to manifest, to get what you want here. Something that is sustainable for you, that can't be removed or pulled by anyone else. And the only way to do this is to overcome our own anxiety. So this is what I see, pile number 2. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the striped skunk. What kind of release would protect clarity in my space? And the keyword clear and the skull. Okay, so before we get into this energy, what are we looking at? We're looking at your animal spirit guide or spirit team. and what it is that your animal spirit team is wanting to bring to your attention. You know, it could be something that you're needing to hear, something that will provide you with some insight, some clarity, some guidance, maybe a warning. Who knows what it is that's going to come through, but we'll see what they want to communicate, or maybe it's one animal in specific. You'll know what your sort of spirit animal team feels like to you, whether it's one animal or multiple, but we will ask for the messages and use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Don't force anything to fit, and let us see. So with this energy, it's kind of hand in hand. The skull is all about the death, the transformation, okay, Scorpio energy. And this release is also about releasing what doesn't serve us in order to have a new energy come in. We need to make space in order for there to be new energy. So clear could be a clearing of the old, could be having to get clear because things could be very cluttered, so we need to release certain things. Protect clarity in my space. So I do feel maybe we're not sure what it is we're supposed to let go of. You know, I'm not sure what we're supposed to let go of. And the skunk, it could be quite defensive here, but I feel like the skunk might stinks here. Okay, so I don't know, maybe something's starting to stink up a situation, and so there's a need to release something or let something go, but maybe we're not sure because maybe it stink up a situation. If we take action, I feel like we might stink up a situation here. So I feel like there's a need to make space for the new. I feel like you want to, but I also feel like maybe there is an understanding that things could get not very good here depending on how you handle the situation. So you're looking for some clarity. You know, what do you need to release? What is the new? What is the old? Figure it out. It's kind of how I feel. I feel like there's a little bit of a confusion here. So let's take a look. What is your animal spirit guide team wanting to communicate? Manatee. Allow for gentle times. Wow. Okay. We have Crow, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Plumbed basilisk. Looks like a lizard walking across the water. It says a beautiful emerald green. This lizard lives in the humid forests of Central America. When it feels threatened, it does not hesitate to drop into the water from the treetops. It then stands up and runs on the water, using only its hind legs to stay on the surface. This peculiarity earned it the nickname of Jesus Christ Lizard. Oh my goodness. Isn't that interesting, walking on water? The lizard when it feels threatened. The skunk when it feels threatened. The skunk will spray. Okay, and the lizard will drop itself down and pull off a miracle. We have sublimation here. And this is number 67. Sublimation, rising above. We have the dove here. We have Saturn. Saturn is the ruling planet for Capricorn and Aquarius. Number 7. So we have the black and the light, and here we have the, what's it called again? The scythe, which is representing this death. So Saturn is a difficult energy because it is one that could be through trials and tribulations. We're having to dedicate ourselves to get to somewhere and makes a lot of sacrifices here. Okay, and we have a vision quest. Beautiful. And we have Isis with magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Look at vision quest. Visions and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Wow, okay. We have mystic, light attributes, reveals an intimate union with the divine. Shadow attribute, delusional rapport with the divine. Okay. And we have God. Wow. Light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Shadow attributes, despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Okay. Okay. And we have abundance, more crow energy and fish. Fish all about abundance here. Material abundance, wealth, prosperity. With all this fish I'm seeing. Wow. Okay. I kind of am picking up what's going on here. Oh, we have cat, domestic. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others. Okay. And we have the turtle. Okay, the turtle is all about longevity, protection. Turtle could be the length of time. Something's taken quite some time here with Saturn as well. And we have the okapi. And we have the boar will associate you to your instincts. Wow. The boar is also, when it's threatened, it sort of attacks here. So there's like an energy here of self-preservation. Wasp spirit, sometimes life stings. Wasps also, I mean, most animals will have sort of a defense mechanism here, but these are quite instinctual. You know, the skunk with the spraying of its, I don't know, its thing here when it feels threatened, and the wasp stinging and the boar sort of charging. I do want to read the okapi, even though I've read it probably a million times on this channel. It is calling to be read out, and then I will channel what this message is, which is coming through quite clear. And I do feel the okapi is somewhere over here, is it not? Yes. Okie dokie. The okapi is a unique creature, partially resembling a zebra, but most closely related to the giraffe, that is indigenous exclusively to the northern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In many ways, the existence of the okapi seems unlikely, and yet a knowable number of things align to make its existence so. The presence of the okapi in a reading may speak to something that feels much the same and begs the question of fate, whether in a meeting or situation. To draw the okapi card in a reading is a sure sign that something bigger than you is at play. The way things have aligned across time and space to bring you to this moment where everything is falling into place may feel surreal. Moments in our lives where we can see destiny unfolding in front of our eyes are few and far between. There is a deep knowing in our bones that recognizes this pleasant twist of fate. And that same knowing asks us to drink in as much as we can stand, because there is something crucial to be harnessed and learned. Keep in mind that when destiny turns the wheel, it may not always feel pleasant, though it certainly feels big. Sometimes, when everything is aligning to put us on our higher path, it can be extremely difficult. This too requires a certain trust in the way that things are unfolding, even if we don't fully understand why. Look to the higher meaning behind this moment. Much is being revealed. Well, okay. Mystic and God. Beautiful pile number 3. You guys are most likely my light workers here. Beautiful spiritual beings. I feel all my subscribers are spiritual beings, but to this group in particular here, you're being sort of guided on some very special sort of mission here on Earth. And I feel you probably already know or feel it as it unfolds here. Okay, and I feel it is something in the spiritual realm, so you could certainly be highly psychic. You know, you could be a tarot reader, you could be working with the divine here to bring healing. And a lot of you guys could be embarking on your own project. Could be a YouTube channel, could be whatever it is here that you're sort of embarked with. But I feel like it's been quite the journey and quite the challenge here, because I feel like you've been through the ringer. And most times when we our enlightened beings, we get there through trials and tribulations that are very difficult. And I feel like you've gone through many challenges here, many challenges to get here. But what this message is from your animal spirit team is that things are coming into alignment here. Very much so. And I think it's taken quite some time. But I feel like you've learned a lot of lessons in the way here that have allowed you to align yourself just perfectly. And that as things fall into place, we might not believe how much abundance is sort of coming to us, because I feel like things are really clicking into place here. But I feel like we've learned a lot of lessons about ourselves. We've learned a lot about trusting our intuition, trusting the divine, believing in the projects and the mission and the vision we had of self. So I feel like you've been manifesting something that might have been going very, very slow and has been a challenge or a struggle to get here is about to pay off. And I feel it could be in a big, big, big way here. Okay, and we're finally kind of seeing what it was all for. And we're kind of reaching this place of reward, if you will. All the dedication and the hard work and the struggle and the challenge, I feel, is coming through here. There is a message coming through that you're going to hear something through a way of communication. And I don't know whether it's going to come in like a download or through someone communicating this to you or something you're going to read. But I feel like there's some information coming here that's going to help you. Okay, that's going to help you sort of propel you to this next level, if you will. Okay, next level, next phase. And so I feel like things have been a struggle or a challenge because they might have been stuck for some time. But I feel like you never sort of gave up. You kept your faith, your trust in the divine. Okay, and so I feel like, there's an unwavering sort of dedication you have here to your mission and your vision. And I feel like no matter what sort of challenges were put in front of you, it didn't stop you. And I do feel like things are going to come into play here, or come into place, I should say, in a way that relieves some of this stress and burden on you. So now this ties back to this, and I sure hope all the people sort of stayed after me reading this energy, because it does go back full circle. I feel like your life or your circumstance or your situation, this journey, this path you've been on, is still filled with things that aren't needing to be there. And I feel like you've been working with these things as best you can. Very gentle, very accommodating, but I feel like there is still either negative people, low vibe energy, and I say negative people, I mean low vibe sort of people, maybe people impacting you. A lot of sort of things in your world still that need to align here that were kind of clouding your path. And I think you've learned to accommodate, or I should say limp your way through this. And so limping became your norm. You know, carrying the bag, so to speak, became the norm. Going through this experience sort of on one leg became your norm. And I think what Spirit is saying is this distortion of things that don't belong in your world are going away. They're falling away. And what will remain is the crystal clear sort of beauty. And I do feel like either this download, this information, or this communication coming from someone, or this understanding you have, will allow things to get very clear and will provide the tweaking of your life, really, your situation here, to get very clear. You know, to align with the abundance. So we could see above all of this stuff, all that stuff sort of falls away. So if you still have the annoying job, or you're still involved with the you know, certain people here that are just become something you've lived with, you know, because you haven't been able to sort of, I don't know, like you've been working with spirits, but I feel like there's been certain things you've had to accommodate, certain things that just were a thorn in your side. And so I feel like these things are going to fall away where they need to. And I feel like great miracles are going to present itself. And I feel like you're about to unleash some sort of miracle here, okay? And what this miracle is, I think, surprises you. You tap into some sort of part of self here. So it's, I don't know, the part that's connected to the divine, the psychic world, your healing gift. A lot of you guys are gifted here. And so maybe we've been trying to tap into this gift for some time, you know, not quite getting it right or not quite understanding or seeing, but is sort of sticking to this path. So I feel like there's a release here of pressure. There's a release here of the uncertainty. There's a release of the distortions and the environment that was still not quite right. And so if we, you know, were, I don't know, if we were trying to open up that yoga studio or get together that YouTube channel or roll out whatever thing here, I feel like it didn't quite take off just yet, you know, because things didn't quite align or things were still sort of ironing out. I feel like it's about to sort of line up in a way where everything sort of takes off. And I feel like you feel as a beautiful miracle here with the abundance and this walking on water. You know, so definitely we need to remain humble and be reminded of the path it took, because I feel like we were very dedicated here and we had to potentially sacrifice a lot and go through quite a bit. And, you know, although we know we were divinely protected here, I think it's taken quite some time. And I feel like we've been stung by life many times here. Many times, you know, where I feel like things have happened along this path that's caused us to potentially just throw in the towel. But I don't feel you have. I feel like you believed in yourself, believed in your vision. You saw your vision. You're on a mission here. You're working with the divine. And I feel like maybe there were many times where you felt like giving up or have given up in the past. But I feel like you kept at it, or you picked yourself up and stayed dedicated here. And so I am getting, for some of you guys, there might be one final thing here that comes through that you're needing to overcome before you're sort of free here. And sometimes this is the universe testing you. How bad do you want it? You know, and it's not the universe playing a trick, but it's the universe really understanding where your devotion lies in regards to what it is you want to manifest. You know, how devoted and true are you and committed to this are you? And so there might be one sort of thing here that comes through with this messaging. So let's see why I'm picking that up now all of a sudden. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3. What is it that they're animal, spirit team, spirit guides wanting to communicate to pile 3? What are they needing to know right here, right now? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile 3. Can we dive in deeper to this message? What is it that pile 3 is needing to know about this message? Thank you so much. Okay. So we have the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. We have the Page of Swords. And we have the 7 of Cups. There's that need for clarity. Okay, why is the Devil here in reverse? The 6 of Swords in reverse. Why is this Page of Swords here? And we have the Lovers in reverse. We have Judgment in reverse. Need for clarity coming through yet again. And then the 9 of Cups. Don't read bottom of the deck reverse with the Peacock. And then the Magician. Virgo, Gemini. Gemini. Okay, strong Gemini energy. So, let me see. Okay. It reinforces the oracle. Okay, I don't think we're getting any newer insight, but it reinforces what I read here, which is always good because, I don't know, sometimes I just question whether I'm reading it right. Could provide another layer here. So the actual manifestation of the abundance thing here, I don't know, the YouTube channel, the yoga studio, I don't know what the thing is here. You know what the thing is here, okay? Or at least there's a greater thing here that's supposed to manifest. It didn't manifest, and whatever this is your true ultimate sort of emotional fulfillment with the 9 cups. It's coming. Okay, but I feel like your environment, I don't know if it was the people, the situation, things were needing to naturally sort of fall away here. You know, and I feel like this devil was an energy that was around you, that was keeping you sort of held hostage, or just around you, the distortion, the noise, the thing that didn't quite line up. It kept you stuck. And we're finally seeing it. We're finally going to see and understand this thing in a way here. And I feel it's because of this communication with the Page of Swords. You know, and the communication can come, like I said, we read it, understand it. It comes to us in some form. I don't know, download, whatever it is. It makes us clear to understand or begin to understand. And so now we see why it couldn't come together. It didn't come together. It hasn't yet been something that came together into union or cohesive. It wasn't fully available here. The option or the choice didn't make itself manifest. You know, like the actual YouTube channel, like I said, it didn't provide the abundance yet, or didn't take off yet, or it didn't really seem like it was a choice that was going to be, you know, manifesting in some way here. We couldn't see how that would happen. But I feel like there was a trust in what emotionally fulfills you, a trust in working with the divine. And so I feel like what this message is about is you now coming into some sort of understanding to see the distortion, to see what didn't work, to see what was stuck. And so when we understand these things with new insight, we're able to cut through any sort of understanding or idea or illusion we might have, or vision we might have that seems a little clouded, that might not necessarily be so clear. And so we know what it is we need to shed. We know what we need to transform. We know what we need to align with. I feel like this is what's coming into your awareness. Because up until now, I don't think you've seen it. You might have known things were cloudy. You might have known that you were still engaged in not the right timing. Or whatever the reason may be. Maybe not the right people. Maybe not the right situation, circumstance, or the right time. Yeah, and with Magician in reverse, it's like you knew it wasn't the right time just yet. And with the Saturn too. More needed to be invested. Maybe more time needed to be dedicated. You know, but there's a certain point where we feel like, when will this happen? Or how will this happen? Or whatever the case may be. And I feel like you're finding out. Things are really coming into alignment here. We're going to see it very clearly, why things happen sort of the way they happened. And I feel like your instincts of how you sort of navigated through this is going to pay it forward to you in way of abundance. And for a lot of you guys, it could certainly be like financial abundance here. Okay, but I feel as though you might have felt really sort of bound or stuck to your set of circumstances for quite some time. And it didn't feel very pleasant here. And maybe you understood that it was a sacrifice you were needing to make for a limited time, or until things became clear, or until the universe helped flush things out. And this is exactly what's happening. And I think you already understood this. Let's get some more. Spirit, clear and concise message. What am I missing exactly here? And why are we seeing this message? Can we ask Pile 3's animal spirit team, animal guide, for clarity? Why are we being shown this? What is Pile 3 needing to know? The Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness, you guys. Divine timing. The wheel is spinning. Fortune. All about luck, abundance. Ace of Pentacles. The manifestations here. Okay, Strength, Leo energy, and the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, Why is this Ace of Pentacles here, Spirit? This is a new beginning. The Two of Wands in reverse. The Five Wands in reverse. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. And we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so look at this. Victory, success. Under that, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Things were stuck. And I feel like things weren't moving forward. And I still am getting the communication coming through strong. So either we weren't getting feedback, and communication might have been stopped or stuck, but I feel like you felt like something was stuck or not moving. Though I feel there was faith or an understanding things could move or would move, but I feel like it was stuck. It wasn't moving. And so I feel like we're going to have success here. And I do feel like where we weren't having communication, feedback, dialogue, we're now going to turn the tables so that we do get the right understanding communication. So things do flow. Okay, because I feel like we weren't, I don't know, we weren't either with the right people or the environment wasn't right. We weren't being maybe appreciated, maybe our network of people or whatever the thing is here. It was blocked, is now flowing. So now we can manifest this new beginning. Okay, so we're no longer sort of in this, I don't know, waiting period. I feel with the Two Wands here, it's like we're having to get clear and choose and decide which way we're going. I feel like you are no longer in some sort of waiting period to choose. I feel like the manifestation is here. Okay, or it's coming. It's turning into this manifestation that I feel you've been waiting on for some time. And I feel like you're not needing to be held back anymore. There's no uncertainty here. And I feel like, yeah, like maybe at one point we had to keep fighting and we had to keep confronting and we had to keep, with our endurance here with Saturn, you know, we had to keep sort of moving on and confronting what we needed to confront here, no matter how scary. I feel like we no longer need to be in combative energy. We no longer need to be like, you know, the skunk who's ready to spray or the wasp is ready to sting, or like, because I feel like you had to stand your ground, protect yourself in order to make things happen here, you know, and this is your way of sort of confronting what you were needing to. But I feel like you're no longer needing to be in defensive energy. I feel like your courage has led you to a certain place here. So you're no longer needing to fight. Anything that was conflicting here is no longer there to butt up against. If there were people against you, they're no longer against you. If there was competition, the competition's fallen away. There is no competition. You're now the sort of guru of your field here. There's no competition. There's no resistance. There's no stuck energy. You're sort of succeeding here. And some of you guys, it could be in the public eye with the Six of Wands, because this is all about being in the public eye. Okay, but I feel like we haven't seen this just yet. And so we couldn't see it because nothing sort of manifested up until now. And I feel like we haven't yet heard or seen the thing that I keep pointing to, this crow, because I feel like we're going to see the thing or hear the thing or be informed about what it is we need to know so we can take action and have this new beginning of this manifestation. But I don't think it's happened just yet. So I'm going to ask your animal spirit guide, what is it, this communication that we're going to see, that we're going to need to act on? It's some sort of truth, some sort of thing we're going to understand that gives us the clarity we need so we can be clear, so we can release what we need to, make space for the new. Because right now there was no space for the new, or things are still ironing out, and I feel like there was still fogginess, or there's still people combative, or things were still needing to fall away, or there's still distortions, noise, things stuck, you know, us maybe not feeling appreciated, or they're not the right people around us for things to move. So things weren't moving, but now is divine timing. Now is divine timing for you. You're not needing to be combative and fight and sort of wear that hat anymore. Now you're going to be appreciated here with this Six of Wands and have success. So let us ask, what is this communication? What is this thing you're not seeing or you're not understanding just yet that's going to come to you. Can we please get a sneaky peek here, kindly, if pile 3 is to know what this is? I don't know how much we're going to get because I feel like this is coming to you. 9 cups, 5 pentacles. What is this communication, this download, this information being communicated to pile 3? The Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy. Okay, why is this 9 cups here? We have the King of Pentacles. Wow. Why is this 5 of Pentacles here? 8 of Swords in reverse. And finally, why is this Chariot here in reverse? Something was stuck with the 8 of Wands in reverse and this Chariot in reverse. Something wasn't moving and the Empress in reverse. Taurus energy. Something wasn't abundant. Oh, the Emperor. Okie dokie. And 7 cups. Wow. And the Queen of Pentacles and the King and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so one thing coming through with the 6 Wands and this Peacock energy is ego. And same with Emperor. So ego pulling through here. And so you could have been dealing with people with egos. So things weren't aligned. 5 Wands. Combative. Challenging. Okay, and so things were unclear. Things were uncertain. Things were up in the air. And I feel like it was in regards to some sort of wish. Some sort of... I'm getting star energy from the 7 of Cups. It's like our fantasy of what we wish, we can't yet attain, we can't yet make it clear, because it might involve a whole bunch of moving parts. And so we have to work with the universe and trust the divine and our own sort of intuition here for things to manifest. But I feel like it wasn't making itself clear. It kept us sort of in this vague energy. And so what is happening here? I feel like you're getting your wish with the 9 cups, what emotionally makes you happy here. Whatever was egoic, or whoever was egoic, getting in the way of your 9 cups is sort of being brought to your attention, however that may be, either through a communication, through an experience. But I feel like you and, well, you could be this King of Pentacles, and this could certainly be a Queen of Pentacles, but you and another. You and another, and this could be you and your soul tribe, you and your person, you and your circumstance now that's reliable, but I do feel is 2 people energy. Okay, King and Queen of Pentacles, this is like the father-mother energy. Okay, solid, reliable, committed, very reliable here. Okay, and so I feel like we've experienced the 5 Pentacles, and the 5 Pentacles was in the cloudiness, in the inability for things to get clear, in the inability for things to manifest a new beginning. And I feel like this communication frees us and a situation from any limitation here with this 8 swords. So if we were dealing with a situation that felt very sort of stuck here due to egoic thoughts or any sort of limitations, there's a freeing here. Okay, and the freeing here is because the situation is no longer going to be presented in a 5 Pentacles sort of energy that I feel like you might have just got used to, or that you might have just accommodated here. Because I feel things have been stuck, things haven't been moving, and things haven't been manifesting here in the greatest way that it could. Because there was a potential here for a great manifestation here. And so because we have the Emperor and the Empress, we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. Well, this could certainly be in a connection, in a relationship where you're needing the right person, the right time, the right support, okay, in order for things to sort of align here, in order for you to receive, in order for the abundance to come in. And I feel like it's been blocked, but I feel like with this information you're getting, or this piece of understanding, we're now empowered to take action. The right people come in. The right person comes in the right sort of energy. Okay, so whatever was unclear becomes clear. Whatever was sort of not abundant is abundant. Whatever wasn't receptive is now receptive. Whatever wasn't moving can now move in a balanced way here. And I feel like there's a freeing, a liberation here of understanding here that I feel really provides you with emotional fulfillment. It's under this Queen of Pentacles, the Three Swords. Yeah, like, I think you've experienced a lot of pain here with the Three Swords. You know, and I'm seeing a lot of chains, which was that devil energy. And so we might have had to overcome a lot of pain that we were stuck to, you know, or a situation that was causing us a lot of pain that we couldn't move on from with the devil. And so we're needing to find a way through, and all in due time. And I feel like we were committed to finding a way through, releasing what we needed to, coming out of a Three Swords and a Five Pentacles. But we no longer need to sort of fight, okay, because we're finding our way through this, getting empowered to do this. And I feel like anyone or your situation here that was involved in your situation, anyone involved in that situation is now sort of workable, is now clear. There's no sort of confusion here. We're knowing what we need to release. So let's see, because it still sort of feels a little bit disjointed to me, because I do feel like there's this mission vision you have here of something coming together. But I do feel like, I don't know, like maybe there was people getting in your way, or a situation that you needed to be resolved before you could free yourself towards this vision, make yourself available. You know, it's like we have to release something here before we can allow the new in. And so I don't know, like maybe there's old energies here that were preventing you from welcoming this new phase. So let's ask for final message here for pile 3. What are they needing to know? We'll ask your animal spirit team, what are you needing to know, Spirit, about this sort of message that's being delivered to pile 3? What are they needing to know? Anything I've missed? Anything they need to know? 5 of Swords reverse, Ace of Wands reverse, 3 of Pentacles reverse. Why is this 5 swords here, Spirit? 2 swords reverse, Knight of Cups reverse. Wow. And finally, the Chariot in reverse again. And the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles showing up again. 5 Pentacles under that. Okay, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So, I feel like whatever situation you were in, there needed to be a reliable, solid sort of understanding of achieving this sort of golden place, if you will. Okay, this is something you can rely on, someone you can rely on, something you can commit yourself to. It's dependable, it's steady, it's secure, it's long-term. And I feel like that hasn't been what you've experienced. I feel like you've experienced 5 Pentacles. And I feel like people in this situation could have certainly been sabotaging. I feel like you've experienced a lot of 5 Swords in which you're no longer in the 5 Swords. Any decisions that needed to be made that kept things up in the air because people are indecisive or unclear are now becoming very clear. Okay, so I feel like whatever was unclear, whatever was indecisive is becoming very clear, which allows things to move forward here with this new beginning, this Ace of Wands, towards the creation. Whatever the creation is here, I don't know what it is. It's all different for you guys, because I feel like you haven't been able to express, engage, give to, emotionally pour into with this Knight of Cups blocked, this new beginning blocked, because things were unclear. People were 5 Swords. Things weren't coming together. And so we could have had people that weren't showing up, things that weren't being manifested because of people just not showing up, or us not being able to work with anyone or anything. You know, maybe the publishing house wasn't there. You know, if we wanted to create something, we weren't finding the right group of people or the right thing. We just could not come together with something or someone else to create the manifestation. And I feel like we felt threatened with all these wolves. We had our back up here. And I feel we had to protect ourselves. But we no longer need to sort of have our backup. And because I feel like the thing that was stopped here, is this a badger or a skunk? Because I was going to say there's a skunk here. I don't know if that's a skunk or a badger. It's interesting. But anyway, things that are stuck here were due to the fact that whatever groups of people, group, person, or entity, or thing that couldn't show up was why you were stuck. So I feel it becomes very clear. It's like the only way for you to be able to create and manifest has to be in workable energy. Something you can rely on, someone you can rely on, something sustainable, because I feel you wanted something long-term, sustainable, and something you can commit to here that would be workable before you start creating, you know. And so I feel like your dream or your hope was blocked. And so it sucks when our dream, our vision, and our hope is sort of dictated by what's going on around us. And I feel it was, because I feel like things were really unclear and people were really unruly, and things that needed to be taken action on just couldn't come together. And so it impacted this whole sort of situation here. But that's all about to change with the Wheel of Fortune here. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we felt like we weren't empowered to take action, to make things happen here. It couldn't happen. Okay, it couldn't happen. And the King of Wands is a business energy here, a businessman. So I feel like maybe potentially the thing you wanted to create could have been a business project, you know, but I feel it's creative here with this Ace of Wands and this spider energy. So let's just one more final message, because I feel like we're needing to know something here to sort of give us clarity in regards to why we're seeing this message. We'll ask your, I don't feel these are right. We'll ask your animal spirits, guides, spirit team, spirit guides. Can we please close this message out? What is it that pile 3 is needing to know right here, right now? Exact message and what they're needing to know about this. Anything else that I've missed? Chariot in reverse yet again. Things were really stuck, not moving forward. Ace of Wands, that's that creative energy. We couldn't create, we couldn't build. We know High Priestess, we didn't see it, but intuitively we knew it. Eight of Wands, stuck energy again. It wasn't moving forward. So whatever felt stuck in your world here, Two of Wands, yeah, like we couldn't choose. I feel like our hands were tied. I feel the ball was sitting with something else or someone else. Okay, and the only thing we had to rely on here was this High Priestess energy, which is our intuition. And with the bat, it's like we can't see it, but we got to trust it. And some sort of blind trust. Temperance in reverse. It wasn't the right time. People weren't workable. Things were imbalanced. Things weren't moving forward. Things were really, really stuck. So we couldn't manifest. And the Knight of Cups in reverse. We couldn't put towards the thing here. Couldn't emotionally give creative energy, love, whatever it is that you were wanting to pour into this thing. It was very blocked and stuck. Very blocked and stuck here. Wasn't workable. Wasn't the right time. 5 Pentacles. So it left us in 5 Pentacles. And there's the King of Cups. So this could be, you know, us dealing with someone potentially emotionally unavailable. This could be us being really blocked intuitively here. Not being the right energy with the right people who are engaged in the right way. You know, and it's causing all sorts of 5 Pentacles here, keeping us very, very stuck. But I feel like intuitively, there's an understanding here. It's like a blind knowing that things weren't going to be stuck here forever. You know, that we were having to experience some sort of imbalanced situation here in order to provide healing, in order for us to, and look at that frog. The frog was for pile number 2, I believe, if you guys resonated. So the situation was imbalanced. People weren't workable, you know, and so this left us feeling like we didn't have a choice, or we couldn't go down a path here. And like we have a lion and lioness. We had Emperor, Empress, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. So it could be someone needed to align themselves with you, your business partner, your partner, whatever you were sort of creating here. Required things to align, people to align, but very, very stuck energy. So I feel like you're going to hear some information, okay, that's going to support your intuition. I think you haven't seen it up until yet, but I think intuitively you know. I feel your dedication here has been one that's been very determined, and I think you're going to see, you know, and allow for gentle times I feel like things are going to get a lot easier now that you're sort of releasing things, people, situations here that aren't providing clarity in your world, that don't allow you to move down the path of what it is that you're needing to do or having to choose here. You know, and I feel like whatever was stuck, you're now moving forward. Yeah, Three of Cups in reverse. Like, it was around people. You weren't being appreciated. You couldn't celebrate, come together. Page of Wands in reverse. Things were stuck. You couldn't go exploring in a certain direction because you were stuck. You were just really, really stuck here, okay? And I feel it was very dependent on things aligning, people aligning. So, this is what I have. Pile number 3. Things are turning here for you. And I feel like everywhere you went, it seemed like there was a block. You know, so no wonder why you sort of had to guard yourself. But I feel like the miracle here is, despite all of these blocks and all of these things here and how long this thing has taken here, there's you pulling through, you know, the miracle coming through, the abundance coming through, you attaining. And I do feel this is still financial wealth. Okay. And so I feel like it's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others. I feel like other people can no longer hold you back. Situations can no longer dictate your success here. You're going to succeed. It doesn't matter here, okay, so much as what didn't work and what is stopped. I feel like things are going to flow because of your ability to flow. And things have become very clear based on some communication or understanding that you now have. So you can release the things that are dead weight. Because I feel like there's dead weight compounding to the confusion. And so this clarity provides you with insight on how to move forward, how to attain, how to achieve. And it doesn't matter who's where or what's where, because you're no longer in combative energy here, having to fight or confront people or challenge people or have competition. It's like you breaking out of whatever energy was stuck here, okay? Because of your belief here, your blind trust in your intuition, working with the divine and your own sort of psychic ability here to make things happen. And I feel like whatever you're making happen here is you contributing this beautiful thing here, this mission, this healing energy, this beautiful thing that I feel like you're contributing here to the world. It's no longer stuck. It's about to take off. This is what I have, pile number 3. I hope this helped, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.